Well, in time-honoured tradition, let me say welcome, faithful listener. I'm here today with Gary Russell. Aside from being a script editor on Doctor Who, Gary is the director of Dreamland. Welcome.
Hello, nice to be here.
Good to have you here. Before we dive into the questions that the listeners sent us, could you tell us where we are right now with Dreamland, where we're up to?
We're at the stage, in fact, yesterday I was sitting in this very room that we're sat in at the moment, watching early runs of episodes 5 and 6. And seeing it all come to an end and going, oh, that's it. It's over. It's finished. It feels really sad. But it's looking really, really good. And we've a long way to go. We've not got a huge amount of time. But the last couple of episodes are coming together, and I think it's going to be magnificent. I think it's going to blow everyone away.
It does seem nice that after all this time talking about it, when people, as you're saying, in this very room get to see it, their kind of jaws drop and they're like, right, so this is why we spent a year on it.
I think, yes, being animation, it takes a very long time to do. And I think when we first started talking about it to people, no one really quite imagined how it was going to look, how it was going to... And I think myself and Phil Ford, the writer, and Anwin and Matt here in BBC New Media, we all had a vision for it, and it was a case of going out and selling that vision to everyone else and saying, this is what we wanted. We don't want it to look like traditional two-dimensional animation.
Actually, that's a good point to jump in, because the first question I have actually is from Alfie, Thomas, Mark and Sarah. They asked, how did Dreamland come about, and specifically, how did you get involved in it?
It came about because we'd had success a couple of years ago with our previous animation, which was called The Infinite Quest. And we'd all sat around and talked about that and said we liked it, what would we do better? Because the idea of doing something again, the idea of doing something a second time is always to try and be better. Yeah. There's no point in standing still, especially with something like Doctor Who, which is always about going forward and being exciting and investigating new ways of doing things. So we thought we'll apply that to doing an animation as well. So it had always been in our mind, right from the moment we did Infinite Quest, that we wanted to do another one. And so it eventually became Dreamland. How did I get involved in it? I think I probably sat and shouted very loudly in the middle of a room saying, excuse me, I want to be involved with this.
I know that's not true, because Russell has already said that it was your involvement that was one of the things that prompted him to say, yes, we'll go ahead and do it.
Well, that's very, very nice of him. Oh, bless him. I love animation. I'm a huge fan of animation. I think animation is a very good way to do Doctor Who, actually. And I'd never wanted to obviously replace TV live-action Doctor Who, but I think it's an interesting path for Doctor Who to go down, because there are things you can do in animation, obviously things you can't do in animation, that Doctor Who lends itself to very, very well. So I've always been interested in cartoons and animation. I've always been interested in voice work. I have a background in audio drama, which is basically drama without any pictures, and the animation puts the two together. You work with the actors and you're doing their voice work and everything, and then you make the pictures fit. And it was fun. That's very nice of Russell to say that my involvement was important.
No, that was in one of the previous Q&As, and so it's there for the world to register.
It's a good thing to be involved in. It's good fun. It's a nice way to make a different version of Doctor Who.